time, weather, and always glass.
Breath control and bad decisions. It's our game. With Gen X and Salty J, we'll shout it loud. A celebration of life. Come join the crowd.
In the 1980s, there was a place of dreams, a place of power, a place where your entire financial future could collapse in under 6 minutes. Talking about the book fair. Welcome back to Breath Control and Bad Decisions. I'm Gen X,
Hey, and I'm Salty J.
and this week we are talking about posters, paperbacks, and pencils, the golden age of the 1980s book fairs. Specifically, the Scholastic Book Fair, which I don't know about you, Julie, but it was a magical week at my school. Everybody was excited. Everybody was happy. Everybody could not wait to get in there. It was like a full-blown childhood casino. Just, I can't wait to get in there and get at those books. And they were, you could, yeah, the scented erasers, the shaped like pizza, and the Flintstones, and Scooby-Doo, and, just now I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it thinking about it just now.
I can remember the first few times, like, my parents would send me with a white envelope, with my name written on it with a Sharpie,
Uh-huh.
and, it was just like the little envelope of hope, and there'd be,
Yeah.
like, $3 in it, so so I learned to, like, raid my piggy bank before I went so that I could, like, be, part of the food chain up there.
I have to tell you, when I was an adult, when I was a full-blown adult in my 30s, I was working at Toyota. I was working at the North America headquarters in Northern Kentucky, and they would do book fairs every so often, maybe twice or so a year. They would have a book fair in the atrium, and it was amazing, and you would see all of these adults come running down from their offices and be so excited to get these books. And it was just like the books we had back then, only they were for adults. They did have a children's section if you wanted to get kids books for your kids, but I remember I remember those days when they would come to Toyota and I'd be like, "Oh, the book fair, I'm so excited, I can't wait." And I had money then.
That's awesome. I remember never really looking at the books first. You know my personality is squirrel shiny, like
Yeah.
the pens with all the different colors where you click it down.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I think they had got like the big fat ones. They had 8 different colors. I thought those were the greatest things
I
ever.
remember when those came out, and I thought, "How can you write with something that wide?" And I posted
Oh,
in the
I
group,
did.
my friend sent me that pastel colored one last week. I got it because that was my favorite of the 4 colors was that pastel one, and she sent me one, but I remember seeing those 8 colors and thinking, how do you write with that?"
Like you're writing with a stick. Yeah. All right. I'm not trying to be inappropriate again.
No. It was
Um,
a for a young kid, it was a spiritual experience. You didn't just enter the book fair, you arrived at the book fair like the capo, the boss, your teacher would say, "Hey, we're going to the library," or "We're going to the gym," like ours was always in the gym, and you just knew. You knew, and they had transformed it into this magical place full of books and posters and the erasers and the fun pencils, the glitter pencils and glitter pencil pouches and stickers, scratch and
do
sniff
you remember
stickers.
the pencils where it was, like, not a mechanical pencil, it had the tiny little leads in it, and you would push it in the end and, like, pull it out
Yes,
and push it in the other end? Those were
yes,
my favorite, and
I
they
had one of
smelled.
those.
Like, you would get it and it'd smell like apple or strawberry, which I think was a going theme for a lot of our stuff, like strawberry shortcake. Obviously, they weren't that theme, it was, like, the cheap, Temu version, but but those pencils, I think I probably had, like, 10 of those at a time because I would probably
I
waste all my money on that.
Isn't it amazing how much we loved stuff that smelled good? If
Oh,
it smelled
yeah,
like
I
a
still do,
fruit
though.
If it smelled like food, we were all over it. It was just like, "Well, that pencil smells like an orange," or "That it smells like a cherry or an apple." And I like you, I still love it, and when done right, because some things are like, "Oh god,
Yeah.
that failed." But, yeah, when anything that you would walk into that one area where it had all of the scratch and sniff stickers and that pencil you're talking about and the erasers that were shaped like pizza that smelled like pizza and all of that, you're like, "Oh, I don't know what to spend my money on first."
And
And
those erasers didn't even work good, like, they would,
no,
like, tear your
no,
paper up.
no, they were for looks they were looking at erasers, they weren't using erasers. And
What
the
was your
best
favorite
part
books
was
that you would get?
nobody was there telling you what to read. You got whatever you wanted. I would always get magazines. They used to have the Dynamite magazine and, I can't remember what other one was, but that was, like, more of the that had the young, the good-looking actors and had musicians and stuff in it. So I would always get a Dynamite magazine. I love that. I would get posters. When I was younger, because 'cause I'd get, like, the cat the kitty cat posters and all the cute posters. Um, I can't remember if I always got humor. I would
Yeah.
always try to get the humorous books. I don't know why I tend to even as an adult, I tend to lead towards more humorous books. I always liked Stephen King when I got to be a teenager. I liked Stephen King and Dean Koontz. But when I would go to the book fairs, I was always trying to get, like, the humor. If it was funny, I wanted it. Um, I remember when I was 7, in class, we read the Boxcar Children series. So that was never on my list of, "Oh, I'm gonna buy that at the book fair." Nope, I didn't want it.
Yeah.
That was a homework style book for me. Um, but I liked Nancy Drew because it was crime. My
I
the
l
early
That was my favorite.
Yep, that's the entry drug of true crime for kids, right?
Is that why we
Nancy
all
Drew or
love
Hardy Boys.
Dateline and, like, all the crime shows? 'Cause, you know, what puts me to sleep or relaxes me is, like, Lieutenant Joe Kenda what's that show?
The
You
Homicide
know, like,
Hunter.
they're
Yeah.
yes, so he sounds like he's reading me a bedtime story, and I'm
Yeah.
wondering, like, does Nancy Drew start that out where we wanna find out what happened
Yeah,
and
it's 'cause they were so well written to keep the attention of a child, and you're like, "I too solve crimes now. That's right. You got a crime? I'll solve it. That's what I do now." And I think that those books were an entryway drug for as adults for us watching and listening to true crime. I listen to true crime podcasts, I watch true crime YouTube channels. Um, one of my favorites, and I know I'm getting off topic, and it's only gonna be for a minute, but it's both true crime and humor. And
Mhm.
it's, the YouTube and he also has a podcast too, but, it's That Chapter. He's Irish, his name is Mike, and he does such a good job, I love his content. And then for true crime, podcast, my very first podcast I ever listened to 100 years ago, and I'm a Patreon of, is Small Town Murder with, James Petrogallo and Jimmy Wissman is my favorite. I go to whenever they have a live show in Kansas City, I always go. And I've met a lot of people and made really good friends from that podcast, but I trace liking those things and liking the true crime genre back to Nancy Drew. I solve crimes.
I I love those books. And then,
Yeah,
the Babysitters Club was also something that I was really just I loved it, and it was
yeah.
like, girl bosses. You wanted to be a little entrepreneur, and you I don't know, kinda like how I told you I had my little fitness class,
Yeah,
but I think it was something that was like, "Hey, let's start a business." You read those and you
it's
feel like you can do more than probably you should at your age.
it's very much "Okay, I can do that too. I can aspire to do this and have my own business and be in charge." It was for I think for a lot of us, it was, I wanna do this because I wanna be in charge.
Yeah.
We were all little bosses. We all because little kids are still like that. They're like, "No, I'm doing this. I'm in charge. I'm the one in charge." They all have that era of, "I wanna be in charge." And so, books like that kinda did that. It's same with, do you remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books?
No.
There was a series
I
of
don't.
books, and as you read through them, it would get to, like, oh, you get to this dark, scary alleyway, and there's a door to your left, or you can continue to go straight. Which one do you choose? And if you choose whatever one you choose, there was a page number to go to find out what the destiny was. So that's why it was called Choose Your Own Adventure. They were really good. They were well written, but of course you're like, I'm gonna check out both before I make my choice. I'm not an idiot. Nobody's stopping me. I can look at both outcomes before I make my decision. Like, you're supposed to do it without checking, but I was an asshole. I was like, well, I'm not an idiot. I'm gonna go see what's waiting for me before I make my choice. I'm not stupid. Book. You don't have me. You don't tell me what to do.
I think I grew up feeling like we were poor, and we were not poor. That was just my reality. I think my dad was
Yeah.
just really cheap. But,
It's
I always
frugal.
found ways to make it work. No, like, he would bargain at Walmart, like, it was bad. I only wanna pay $50 for that lawnmower. Call the manager. It was that bad. But,
Funny.
so I had to work with my Scholastic school fare. Man, that's like a tongue twister. Scholastic school fare, funds that I was given. So, we would arrange with the different friend group and buy different books, and that way we would just trade them out to,
Oh, that's a
read
great
all the
idea.
Nancy Drew or the Goosebumps. We would just, kinda monopolize on it, and in hindsight, I wish I would've been smarter. I probably could have bought it and then rented it out to buy the next book.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, look, hey, I heard you were the market for this. I got a copy.
Yeah,
Here's how much
50
it's gonna
cents.
cost you to
Bring it
rent
back
it.
next week.
Yeah. And if you don't bring it back next week, I got some serious fines that are gonna add up. So you make sure you bring that back to me. Missed your golden opportunity there, Jules.
I know. I feel like th this this was the first time I would go shopping without my parents. Like,
Yes.
I joke now, like, if I go shopping, I kinda like to go by myself without my husband because I say it's like shopping without the it's like hunting without the game warden, you know?
Yeah.
But, so there, it was kinda like you learn the hierarchy, like, you have kids that come in with $20 bills, you have kids with 50 cents. I was somewhere in the middle. But,
I was somewhere in the middle too. Yeah.
yeah, but I still would walk in and open that little surprise envelope and figure out, like, okay, it's a bookmark kinda day, or,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, I'm buying,
Gonna
like, 3 books."
how am I gonna make this work? What am I gonna buy? And it was like you said, it was your first it's your first shopping spree. It's your first shopping spree without adult supervision. You could buy whatever you wanted, and you walk in, and "I'm gonna invest in my future. That's what I'm gonna do," and then 5 minutes later, you've got a strawberry scented eraser, a neon green bookmark, a poster of a Lamborghini you'll never own, and a poster of a kitten stuck in yard.
Oh, yeah, definitely the kittens. I
Yeah.
remember the "hang in there." Do you
Yes.
remember the kittens? Like,
I
the
I did, and I had a lot of kitten posters, and I was, like, little. It's so funny, the evolution of posters, right? You've got the kittens and this and that, and for me as a girl, you have all of that, and then as you get to be teenagers, the kittens are replaced with hot guys in bands.
it was also our first lesson on pricing because instead of things being, like, $5, it was $4.99
Yeah,
or, so $2,
and
$1.99.
I can't remember if there was I can't remember if they collected tax back then
I don't
at the school,
know.
at the book fair. Yes, yes, sales tax was a thing. What I'm saying is I don't know if I can't remember if they collected it at the book fair or not. Um, and it's if they did, it was certainly your first lesson in, well, it says it's $4.99 and I have $5.
Can you imagine working there? I would feel guilty and give every child, like, every book, and then I would be
Right?
fired because
How how
yeah.
hard would it be to turn away a child who only has a dollar, who's got, like, a stack of books, and you're like, "How can I turn away a child who wants to read?" Who wants to read? All you could really say is, "Well, they have these books at the library and they're free there."
And the look of excitement when they walk up to the counter, because I know it felt kinda like Christmas.
It did. It did, and everything you would walk up with your big stack of books and your erasers and your posters and whatever, and you'd be like, "All of this defines me as a person." And then you'd turn and you'd see the psychedelic wall of color. And then everything would stop. You'd hear the record needle drop, stop. You're like, "What is that? What is that psychedelic wall of color?"
Did they sell Mad Libs, or did I get that somewhere else? Because I used to love those books.
They had Mad Libs. I used
I
to
think
get Mad
that's where I
Libs,
got
yeah.
that from.
They had them there. So, you could get your psychedelic acid trip, Lisa Frank stuff, your dolphins, your rainbows, your neon explosions, colors that don't exist in nature, all of that, and then there's the Betrayal dolls and
Oh,
the
yes, I love
yeah.
those.
I don't I still don't really understand what they were.
I don't either, but I had some, and I
They're
loved
just
them.
they're just little chaotic critters with that really colorful straight hair that stood up straight with big weird eyes. Or was it the
Yeah.
smile? Something on their face was weird, and I can't remember if it was the eyes or the smile, but I I never had them, but I remember walking by bins of them and people just picking them up by, I collect these. Okay. And then you had your budget. You're walking around, you're picking up all the stuff you wanna get, and then you either saved from your allowances because you knew the Scholastic Book Fair was coming, or your parents gave you extra money, or you just had a dollar, depend depending. So, I don't remember for me, I never had a ton of money, like, my parents weren't just like, here's 50 bucks, go nuts." It was like they knew the book fair was coming, and it was probably 5, $10 they'd give me.
Yeah, I didn't give my
And
kids much either. I would say, "Let's
yeah.
just go and buy the books at Target because it's cheaper," but I remember I bought a Sweet Valley High book, and I was pissed because it was, like, dumb to me. It felt like
Yeah.
a soap opera, and
Yeah.
I was like, "I wasted my money on this." Like,
And
and
again,
then
because it was your money, it was a waste. If it was
yeah,
somebody else's money, you'd be like, "Nah, it sucked, but it was at least it wasn't my money."
there was also it wasn't Goosebumps, I think it was called, like, Fear Street, and those books kinda terrified me. Like, I think I read them when I was really small.
Fear Street. Oh, I've never heard of that.
I think that's what it was called. It was something like that, and it was I wouldn't say it caused emotional damage, but it made me feel like, "I don't think I should be reading this."
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I was stealing my dad's X-Men comic books and his records listening to, like, Richard Pryor and George Carlin, so I'm sure I should have been reading it, but, I just remember
No, I
feeling
mean,
like it was wrong.
I had those tapes from when I joined the Columbia Book Club or Record Club for a penny, and I got, like, the Eddie Murphy and the Richard Pryor and the George Carlin, and my parents knew I listened to it, but they didn't care because they knew that I wasn't gonna be out, talking like that. They knew that I was listening to, uh, comics, but I always appreciated that they never tried to take that stuff away, but you did feel like you were getting away with something, right? You're reading the X-Men comics, and you're like, "Ooh,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
getting away with something. Totally getting away with something here." And
And then I
with
went
your
into a job where I studied genetics because I love mutations,
because you
so
like the mutation.
yeah,
So, see, it does prepare you for your future.
it does, kinda like we said why we like crime shows, so
Yeah.
this
It
is
does
kinda
pre it
diving
pre
into yeah, why
the
are we who
origin
we are?
the origin story of the how why do Gen X women love crime shows? Well, I'm gonna take it all the way back to Nancy Drew Mysteries from the Scholastic Book Fair.
Yeah, but then I can't remember the first time my parents left me alone. I had been watching or reading something, so I fell asleep in the corner with a baseball bat. They came home and I was, like, holding that shit, like
Oh my god, that's
Oh,
hilarious.
I'm like, "Please don't get me a babysitter, I'm fine." And then as soon as they were gone, I was like, "Did you hear that? What was that? Oh
What
my
was that
god, I'm
noise?
alone." Yeah, yeah,
That's funny.
so
Oh my god, that is hilarious. I So I think they did charge tax. They had to have. They wouldn't. It wouldn't. Nothing would have been like, for what reason would anything have been tax exempt? And so that's when you had to start doing the math, and you had to do it. I have $5. This book is 3.75, and the eraser is 50 cents, and I have $5. Okay, I've got to do this, but then I also want this and this, and oh god, I'm never going to emotionally recover from this. Like, because you had to make choices. You didn't know
Oh,
when those
yeah, we
books were gonna come back.
I don't remember it, but I'm sure lots of kids had to put books back at the register, and that
Yeah.
probably caused some, not therapy
Yeah.
emotional damage, but a
Well,
little bit of
but
emotional damage.
nobody's teaching a 3rd grader about tax.
Yeah.
It's your first betrayal by the system because you have books that you've done the math, you've got a $5 bill, this adds up to $5, and then they hit you with tax, and you're like, "What? What? What the fuck is tax? What the hell is that?" First betrayal by the system when you're a child, Scholastic Book Fair. Because you
Yeah.
nobody told you everything is gonna have tax on it when you get there, so here's your $5. Make sure that they're gonna charge this percentage of tax, and it's gonna be this much, so make sure. Nope. Nope, nobody said that. And then, I don't know, did you guys bring your stuff to class the next day?
Oh, yeah, like, you would sit it out on your desk, like your little
Yeah.
erasers, so that you could use them and show them off, and
Yeah.
I'm quite sure my parents were annoyed at me because they probably thought they were giving me money to buy some book that would further my education, and I would come back with, like, the pencil we talked about, the little clicky pen, and a bookmark, anything shiny.
Yeah. I remember I had do you remember the pencil boxes that were like cigar boxes? Remember they were cardboard and they had the lid
Oh, yeah.
that just
Oh,
flipped up?
yeah.
I had one of those boxes full of those erasers. Full of them over the course of time that I was buying stuff at the Scholastic Book Fairs, and you'd go in and you'd have all your shit on your desk like you were the most powerful person in the room. Look at all the cool stuff I got. And then that's when everybody starts to trade. "Wait, you got that? Oh, I got this. Oh, I wanted that instead. What, do you wanna trade this eraser for that one, or do you wanna do this and that?" It was chaos and poor financial decisions all in one, but it was supposed to be about literacy.
I think they didn't have the actual Lisa Frank stuff at the book fairs, but I know they had, like, neon stuff and, like, the the Temu version of it,
Yeah.
um, and stickers. I used to love stickers, that was probably another
Did you
weakness
have
of
a
mine.
did you have a sticker book?
Yes,
Yeah, I did
absolutely.
too. Yeah. God, I wish to
Yeah,
hell I knew where that thing was. I wish I knew what happened to that. That thing was loaded. I remember you had all the pages that you had all your scratch and sniffs on.
and I'm sure I put the stickers on, like, my wooden bedroom door and shit that probably pissed my parents off,
Oh,
but
yeah, I did too. They go everywhere, and as an adult, you're like, "Oh my god, how did my parents not kill me for just destroying everything with stickers?"
yeah. Well, trust me, I had my own kids and they got revenge for me, like, um, my mom was in a wheelchair and she lived with us, and I bought my kids Play-Doh, and somehow they got it all over the floor. She ran over it and got it all over the carpet everywhere, so
Oh.
stuff like that. Yeah. I I I know I could be an asshole as a kid, but it was given back to me, I promise. I
Yeah.
learned, and I called my grandmother and I'm like, "How did you do it with 4? Because I only have 2." And yeah, yeah,
I
and,
only have 2
we
and this
read
sucks.
I was getting no sleep for a while there. I worked night shift when I was pregnant, and so when I first had Morgan, she'd stay up all night, and Evan would, sleep, and then it was like switch, so I was just a zombie for at least 6 months, but yeah, and, that's not how books told us it would be, like,
Right.
I thought I wanted twins, and there was this book, Sweet Valley High, and it was these twins that had, like, perfect lives, and that was kinda like the kid version of Hallmark movies or how you watch movies and think
Yeah.
romance should be, it's unrealistic expectations of what life's gonna be about.
I mean, of course it is, but that's why books are an escape. As adults, we know that now. Books are where we go to escape and just have I'm really bad with it because, I get my books on my Kindle, and when I get a book, I don't do anything but read that book. I I I don't like, when we were talking about some books as a kid that we had as kids, and I had said, that one of the first books I remember I got at one of the book fairs was Harriet the Spy, and I really liked it, but I had to re-jog my brain, so I went to the Kindle store and I picked up the first book, and then I picked up the second book, and I spent just 2 days 2 days reading them. I'm like, "Yes, that was worth it." I didn't do anything but read, like, I barely fed myself, and I fed my pets because they have a specific time and they're more important, they have to get fed. That was it. Other than that, I was on the couch reading because I was like, "No, I need to read this." So I'd get done with work, and I would head right to the couch and start reading, and that's my as an adult, and I was kinda like that as a kid, but as an adult, that's what happens to me when I get books, is I don't do anything else but read. As long as it's a good book and I'm absolutely, wrapped in it, I won't do anything else but read, and so I have to be I have to be careful because 'cause I'll buy books just stacks at a time, just like when I would go to the library, when I would when I would go to the beach when I was younger before all of this online stuff existed, I would get a library card for the city for wherever we were going so I could go to that library at the beach and get beach books to read, and I would walk out with a stack of books to read all that entire week that I was on the beach, and they were all murder books. I'm not even shitting you, they were all murder books. They were all
I
true
mean, you
crime
brought
murder.
up, like, Dean Koontz and stuff, which James Patterson, all of those authors I love, but I don't really get into reading books like I probably should. I'm a
Yeah.
movie fanatic, or I used to love comic books, so anything Marvel movies and stuff like that, I'm all for, but, I probably should, and, I heard that they're bringing something back. Is that something adults can use to get pizzas? Have
I
you
think
looked
that
at
I did not look into it. Didn't say that, like, no, it's only for kids. I wanna read and get a personal pan pizza, so for those of you that don't know, they're bringing back Pizza Hut is bringing back Book It for Pizza. Now, I didn't have that when I was in elementary school, I don't think that hit until I was a little bit older, in high school, and it's you read a bunch of books, and you get points to get a free personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut, and that is every kid's dream, and I will tell you, as an adult, I want that pizza.
I do too, I hope they
I
include
want that.
adults because I wanna go back to those days. I did have that, and I read a shit ton back then, and
Yeah.
I actually did too, I didn't fake it because I really enjoyed the whole program, so that's pretty cool they're bringing it back. I wish it would have been
Yeah,
there when my kids were little.
and it wasn't I mean, it wasn't a reading program, it's a full-blown academic hustle. Read as much as you can, it was the teacher would put out a chart that I had to ask Eric because I was like, "My school didn't have this, so how did this work? Because I wanna make sure I've got this fully understood," and so he told me, they roll out the sacred chart, they got the names on the left, stars on the right, and everybody in the class read, but everybody turned into speed readers because you had something to
Oh,
prove.
yeah.
And it's you read all of this, they were reading and just really into it, and the prize was a personal pan pizza, not a piece, not one to share, it was just your little
Your
person.
own.
"This is mine, this is my pizza." You know the kind of power behind that as a kid?
Hey,
It's my pizza.
is that why I'm so food driven now? Because
I know
you could tell
I
me you could say, "Girl, we're gonna go get sushi in a week," and I am happy for the whole fucking week waiting for that
Oh,
sushi.
I'm the same. If you tell me we're going to this restaurant, I've already looked at the menu. I know what I'm getting for an appetizer. I know what I'm getting
Damn it,
for
Pizza
dinner.
Hut.
Like, I know all of that, and I think it's the same. It's just food is a reward. I will go anywhere if you tell me there might be cheese. Not even the guarantee of cheese, just that the
There
possibility
might
of
be.
cheese is there. There might be cheese. I'll be there. I'll be there. It's not even a
Get in my
guarantee. Just,
van.
just yes. I I'm either it's either gonna be an animal that I wasn't supposed to pet or
Yeah,
cheese.
yeah. I relate. I relate. And,
Yeah.
uh, you know, going through all this stuff, I like to try to remember stuff from my childhood, and I know I used to get these posters, and I think they were from the Scholastic Book Fair, but they had, like, glowing eyes, and then I had a black light in my room,
Uh-huh.
and so I would turn everything out, and then, like, the eyes would glow, and
I
I
don't
think
remember those.
you
I remember
don't?
selling a lot of black light posters when I was at Spencer's, but I don't remember Like, I remember those style blacklight posters, but I don't remember I'm sure that there were some at the Scholastic Book Fair. I'm sure that there
Oh,
were,
yeah.
yeah.
And then these stupid, like, dolphins jumping with a sunset, and I had this unhealthy love of dolphins, and I still like dolphins. I
There's nothing
mean,
unhealthy about loving dolphins. Dolphins are like your cute bald uncle.
they're like your sea puppies, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I also like manatees. They're like I relate more to a manatee. They're like going around slow chilling, little fat mermaids. I don't know. But yeah, the dolphins, I remember just loving it. Like there was like jumping dolphins on posters or probably books and stickers too, but
Yeah.
just remember buying those.
And then corporate America came along and ruined all of that stuff to let's make a motivational poster. No, nobody's motivated by a poster. Fuck off. Nobody is
I
motivated to
think I
work
did
because
buy
you
the
put up
kitten.
a poster. But as children it's different. But adults, you can't slap a poster up and put words on it and have them be like, "Yeah, let's do this." You're like, "No, fuck off, sir."
Oh, it's like that. Well, everybody did it back then. The live life love or life love whatever. Live,
I think it's
laugh,
I think it's
love, or
live, laugh, fuck off. Live, laugh, go fuck yourself. I don't know.
I don't know, I see those and I, like, roll my eyes. Okay. Okay, Brenda. Okay, boomer.
Live, laugh, love. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I don't know why those annoy me.
Because they're dumb. That's why they annoy you. You don't have to tell me to be alive, asshole, okay? So you don't have to tell me that. And you don't have to tell me to laugh because I have a better sense of humor than you and I'm not offended at everything. And you don't have to tell me to love because I had a room full of posters full of big hair guys. So shut up.
Think I got Michael Jordan posters from there too. I'm
Aw.
pretty sure. Yeah, and then that's funny you worked at Spencer's because I totally got posters from there all the time. My
I
favorite
remember
was
I
actually at my
remember
best friend's house. She had a Ozzy Osbourne poster with him, like, sitting in a throne chair with his eyes rolled back, and it was kinda
uh-huh.
spooky, but kinda funny, and I was always like, "I want that poster," but I never saw it at any of the stores, so I just
I
enjoyed
remember
looking at her.
I always and a lot of times I did the poster, so when we'd get them in, I would take the old ones out and put the new ones in, and it's how I got to put posters up really nicely in my room because I know the trick to keeping them flat. Um, but when we used to sell the 6-foot posters. And I remember trying to
Oh,
get those
big
in the
time.
things. Yeah, and I remember putting those in, and I had a 6-foot tall John Bon Jovi poster, and I was like, "Alright," and I basically had to lay on the 6-foot poster, the little thing that you'd flip through. I basically had to I had put that on the floor, and then I had to lay on it while I was feeding the poster into it, so it really looked like I was sitting there laying on these posters. I was like, "They're 6 feet tall, I gotta feed them in it, I gotta do the whole thing, I gotta make them straight and the whole 9," but because of that, I can hang up a poster like a fucking champ.
That's
And I
awesome.
had a lot of those 6-foot posters in my room because those were cool ass posters. I love those posters. They didn't sell the
My mom
six-footers at the book fairs.
My mom's friend, actually, she was pretty much my godmother. She was an artist, and I loved New Kids on the Block, so she actually painted me, like, a big canvas of New Kids on the Block, and
Aw.
I wish I woulda kept it, but I got to a point where I got, like, "Oh, I don't like them anymore, that's lame," and I got rid of it. But she did such a good job, and it hung on my wall for years, and just for nostalgic reasons, I wish I still had it.
Yeah. That's really cute. I remember, so when my brother and I were kids, in the '70s when Kiss was out, my brother and I both loved Kiss. I still do. And, um, I don't know if you remember the latch hook rugs.
Yes,
Remember? Okay, so
absolutely.
yeah, those were really popular back then. Well, for Christmas one year, my mom made me a latch hook, like a squares, I don't remember how big it was, 2 by 2, 2 foot by 2 foot square of, Peter Criss on a latch hook, and she made my brother an Ace Frehley one. And I don't know where the hell she got the pattern, because my brother and my mom are really, really artsy, so she probably didn't even have a pattern. She probably was just looking on a piece of paper and, doing it that way. And I remember getting those rugs for Christmas, and it was just like, "Oh my god, these are so cool!" 'Cause Peter Criss was my favorite, and Ace Frehley was my brother's favorite, and which is weird because 'cause I'm not a drummer, because 'cause I'm not coordinated enough to be a drummer, um, but I have a whole bunch of friends who are, so I have a ton of friends. I mean, I'm a musician, so I have a ton of musician friends, but I have a ton of friends that are musicians, and my friend Matt actually played drums for Ace Frehley for quite some time, and I've got one of his drum heads in this room, but I remember getting those latch hook rugs, and I was like, "Oh my god, like, this is amazing. This is an amazing piece of art." It was so cool, so I feel that New Kids on the Block, that somebody made that for you. When somebody makes you something, it's so cool. When somebody makes you something that's so personal, right? They take that interest, and it's so personal. It's so important, and you feel as you get older, you're like, "Well, I don't like New Kids on the Block anymore. I'm better than this." Because 'Cause you're a kid, you don't know any better. You don't make that connection. Well, somebody really put some time into this for you. I don't care. I don't like them anymore. I'm so much better than this New Kids on the Block.
I mean, I was obsessed with them, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Yeah, no." I went to 2 concerts. We talked My friend Kelly, she talked her grandma into taking us to Albany, Georgia. Who knew that anybody would wanna go there for a concert? But we went, and yeah, I really thought that I was gonna marry Joey McIntyre or Marky Mark.
Yeah.
He was, like, their headliner. The Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch was, like, the pre-show, but, yeah, thank goodness we grow up.
Yeah, but
Those boys didn't age well.
every every girl who likes that, they all think they're gonna grow up and marry, whoever in this band. I'm gonna date that person. I'm gonna meet this person. And then when you do meet him, like, I met him a lot when I was a lot older, just because our paths would cross with the people that I know, and I would meet them, and I was like, they're really cool. Like, I have a picture that I have of Kip Winger and I after we played a show in Nashville at, I think it was at the Exit Inn, which was a really cool bar, but it does not exist anymore, and we came off stage, and he was in the audience. I didn't know it, but he was standing in front of us, and my friend, one of my guitar players was like, "That's Kip Winger standing in front of us." I'm like, "It's what? It's who? What? I what? Who?" And, I just kinda walked next to him, and I did the little peek around to see that. I was like, "Oh my god," it is, and I got to talk to him and, introduce myself, and he said that we were really good, and he shook my hand, and I remember thinking how soft. I'm like, "His hands are so soft, oh my god." And I got a really nice picture with him, and then the next night, we were playing at the Mercy Lounge, and we were coming out of the green room, and he was there. He was standing right outside of the green room, like, right as you walk out, he was right there, and I walked out, and I saw him, and I turned, and I was like, "Well, now this is embarrassing for you. You're clearly stalking me." And I mean, if you would've told 16-year-old me, that I would tell Kip Winger that not only would I meet him, but then I'd see him again, and I would tell him that he's stalking me, I would've thought you were on fucking all kinds of drugs.
A great memorable moment.
It was, and he was still very hot, and he is still very hot, and anyway, back to books. But
Yeah,
I
let's talk about books.
digress. So, yes, Pizza Hut is bringing back Book It for Pizza, and like you, Jules, I really do hope that, like, adults can get in on that, because who doesn't wanna walk into Pizza Hut like royalty with their free personal pan pizza and watch all the amateurs around you eating their paid-for pizza? I got mine free, bitch. You know why? Because 'Cause I'm
Do they
smart, I
still
read
have
a lot.
those red glasses? Like,
Yes.
the sodas would come in the red glasses. I haven't been to one in years, but this is the greatest business plan 'cause, people are, like, coming back to stuff just because they wanna feel our youth again.
Yeah. And
And
that you know when you walk into Pizza Hut, and again, I don't think we have any freestanding. There's a delivery one right by our house, which when they brought back the pan pizza, like, every weekend we were getting pan pizza because 'cause we're insane. But, um, I haven't been into a freestanding one, but you know that feeling when you walk into that and you smell that buttery crust, and you see the tablecloths and the red cups, and it all, oh, that smell of nostalgia, and then they bring that burning hot pizza to you in a molten lava pan, and tell you not to touch it.
That reminds me of the cigarette lighters. I touched one of those and instantly removed my fingerprint. Like like it was glowing and I was like, "Oh, wonder what it feels like."
I
And then it
wonder
felt
what
like my
this
finger
feels
stuck
like.
to it. Sounded like bacon sizzling. That's what it felt like. Yeah. I probably shouldn't admit half the shit I'm gonna admit on this podcast, but
No, it's great, it's great. We've all done really stupid stuff, but that's how Gen X learned. That's how we
yeah,
learned. Our parents didn't
yeah,
go, "Don't touch that." They went, "Go ahead, touch the hot stove. See what happens." And then you touch and you go,
yeah,
"Ow," and they're like, "Told you." That's how we
yeah.
learned. We weren't coddled little shits. We that is that's our upbringing. It's why we're the way we are. We know how to do things because we taught ourselves how to do things. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have instant gratification. We couldn't go to YouTube and figure something out. Now if something breaks in the house and I need to learn how to fix it, or even if it's my phone, I go to YouTube and I'm like, "How do you blah blah blah?" And then I get to watch a video and I get to watch it at my own pace. I can pause it and be like, "Uh-huh, okay, oh, yeah, okay, okay, I got that." And then we didn't have that back then. We had to learn on our own.
I I bought this nice Milwaukee edger for cutting the grass, and it wouldn't feed the little cables correctly, and so I watched a video on TikTok today trying to figure out how to use it, and it
Yeah.
explained it, and I went out there, and it was so easy, I felt dumb that I've used it, like, 10 times and didn't figure it out, but, yeah, we used to have to look at the library in, like, a Dewey Decimal System thing
Yes.
to find a book
To find a
on
book.
how to fix something, or I remember working on my car, I bought a manual, it was, like, $70 for this probably 7-inch wide book of how to fix my car,
Mhm.
and
We have
now, like, all
several
these
of those in
specs
our
and
garage.
diagrams yeah, it's if you can be damn dumb with everything at your fingertips for
Mhm.
knowledge these days, like, that's a problem,
Then
you
that
know?
and that then it not only is a problem, but it's your choice to remain woefully ignorant.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
I had to use you and speaking of woefully ignorant, I had to use, YouTube last weekend because I was working out in the yard, and I was trying to move a big planter that I had from last year that I needed to bring out so I could plant my annuals for this year, and I went to get the hand truck, and I put this it's huge, like, it's not a one-person job, and I don't know why I thought it would be, but I was like, "I can do it," and I went to go take this and do it by myself because Eric's been out of town, and I loaded it on the hand truck, and then there's a ratchet strap already on the hand truck because I've got perennials big ones that I move out every year, and he does that. So the ratchet strap was already there. So I got it loaded. I put the ratchet strap around it. I started to tighten up, and with the ratchet strap, the strap itself twisted and then got stuck in it. And I could
Mhm.
not figure out how to unratchet this thing. I'm not a dumb person, but I don't generally use ratchets. I just don't. So I was like, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I'm so stupid. Why can't I figure this out? So I went to YouTube. I'm like, how do you unratchet a ratchet strap? Because I got to fix this. And I was like, oh my God, there's a quick release button. I am a moron. But that's how I learned. I didn't leave it and go, oh, well, fuck it. He'll fix it when he gets back. I was like, I can go to YouTube and figure out how the hell to unratchet this thing. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm stupid.
I'm kinda sad a little bit for people because I can remember sitting in class waiting for our class to get called for that book fair. You have that anticipation, and now anytime I drive a lot these days, and so anytime I'm driving, I can either listen to a podcast or a book to where somebody's reading it to me.
Uh-huh.
Although I've been getting annoyed with that when people read the books like the audibles. It I listened to one the other day where the guy was doing voices, so he was
Oh,
like,
nope.
and then
Nope,
he said, and
nope.
then she said, and it was like pissing me off. I had to
Oh, that is an immediate, "I'm done. Don't do don't. I'm not a child. Do not do this. Don't fucking
yeah.
do that."
Yeah,
I'm like
so
you with
that's when I just
audiobooks. Yeah. It's because you don't know what you're gonna get, and then you start listening, you're like, I can't do this. This is nope, I can't do it." So I usually stick to podcasts when we're driving. It's just it's more entertaining for me because we both have to like the book, and that's kinda hard 'cause we have different tastes, so we both have to like the book, but podcasts are a lot easier for us to come to an agreement. I usually just download everything I wanna hear, and then I just keep it I just and then it just goes from one to the other, and then I don't ever even have to touch anything, but I'm like you with the audiobooks when you're driving. It's like, nope, don't do voices, just fucking read it. Just read it like an adult because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
an adult."
I got started on podcast with, Morbid, which is also true crime.
Yeah.
That's what got me started, but my favorite is Theo Vaughn,
Uh-huh.
and I hope that one day I have the comfort level of him where he just seems so chill, and yeah, that's my role model for all of this, but,
Yeah. I
and
think
he's
that's I think that, you know, your comfort level is pretty good. I you and I just talk when we're recording these. Yeah, do we write a script for the ones that we're doing when the for the episodes that I bring up, I write, and for the episodes Julie brings up, she writes, and while we do have a script, it's more of a just a jumping off. It's just we wrote this,
yeah, it's an
so we have a
outline.
jumping yeah, it's an outline, that's all it is. But the comfort level really is just when we get on and we start talking, we're just talking to each other. We're looking at
Yeah.
each other and we're just talking. We don't even we know we're recording, but we're just talking like two friends because that's what it is. That's really all this is. It's just two friends going down a nostalgia road.
I
And I think
like
your
that
comfort
we
level has
have
really come up.
different. Oh, it's definitely improving, and
Yeah.
I editing the shows, I've found myself, like, laughing more and being less serious, so it's
Yeah.
nice that I'm opening up and being authentic, and, sometimes I say stuff and then I question, like, "Are people gonna, like, shake their head at that?" But it's me,
Yeah, but
and
other people have the same embarrassing crushes or the same embarrassing experiences, and it's nice to know that somebody shares that. Like, I posted a meme yesterday on my page that it was about embarrassing things that you didn't know other people did until the dawn of social media and memes, and it was my brain was just I will sometimes blow on ice cream, and it's true because I will do that. Sometimes I'll just blow on ice cream before I put it in my mouth, and I have no idea why, and then it was like, "Your brain. Food can be very temperature," and this is also your brain. "Don't worry, learn from soup. Know what do." I was like, "Yeah, this is exactly." But I was like, I read it and I was like, "Yeah, people do embarrassing shit," but she didn't know that other people did it until the dawn of social media and memes and podcasts and Facebook and everything because people are like, "I did the stupidest fucking thing," and you're like, "Oh my god, I do that. I've done that." So that you're sharing these experiences and we're both sharing
alright,
embarrassing shit that we did.
so totally not related to our episode at all, but that just reminded me. Years ago, I had smoked some weed and I was eating a salad and, and I was eating a radish and I was blowing it.
See?
And somebody said, "Why are you blowing on that radish?" And I was like, "It's spicy."
'Cause it's spicy. 'Cause I got weed brain. It's spicy,
And
so it's
to this
hot. I
day,
gotta blow on it. Your brain said, "I know what to do here." Your brain
to
said,
this
"I know what
day,
to."
I love radishes, I still eat them, but I just laugh at myself just about every time I pull them out of the refrigerator. It's spicy.
It's spicy 'cause it's spicy. So we're gonna
Spicy
continue to
radish.
share embarrassing stories and hopefully people that are listening can relate. Everybody's got an embarrassing story, and while the book fair isn't technically it's not embarrassing, it's you especially Book It for Pizza, you earned that pizza. When you went in there, you were the boss, and you were like, "That's right, motherfucker. I earned this pizza." You know how I did it? By reading, because 'cause I'm smart. I earned this pizza because I read a lot. Look at you over there with your paid for pizza, amateur.
Yeah, and, our reading lists weren't curated for us, like, we had
Mm-mm.
the independence to pick out what we wanted and do it on our own, which was wonderful. And I
Yeah.
mean, kids can do that now too, but it just felt like this independence that was new to me.
Yeah.
And, we start out with, solving kid mysteries and babysitting businesses and the devastation of not having enough money when you get to the register.
Ugh,
But,
pile of books, not enough
that's
money.
yeah, that's what has formed our personas and I'm gonna go tonight and watch crime shows to fall asleep. So, yeah, I'll be thinking about how
I'm
it
gonna
relates to
continue
our episode.
I'm gonna continue watching my MST3K that I watch every night, um, because I listen to crime stuff during the day usually, but yeah, I Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys was a gateway drug into true crime for us.
I wanna bring this up before we close out the episode.
Mhm.
On Facebook, we have a group on there, and people comment, and, like, we asked about the gravitron on the episode for the fair, and somebody commented, Roland Paris commented, and he talked about how somebody threw up on the gravitron, and then, like,
I know,
2
I
people
laughed.
down, somebody threw up, and it went around, like, the whole circus, and he said that nobody came out unscathed, and I could not stop laughing just reading his comment, and I was like, "Man, I wish that was in our episode that we've already posted," but, um I just wanna say I really appreciate how it feels like a community and people are going down memory lane with us, and
Yeah,
so and then I
that's the
had a
whole
friend, Jen,
point.
text me. Yeah, she texted me, "Yeah, the Challenger, and how do we know we were on the moon?" I've really just my favorite part of this is studying and learning stuff we didn't know, that's mine, and
Mhm.
then the interaction with people that kinda feel the same way that we do, and I'm sure there'll be ones that don't feel the same way as we do either, but yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody before we close out this episode because
Yeah.
that's been a big source of enjoyment.
We really appreciate that you guys interact and really participate in our group, and hopefully you're telling your other Gen X friends about it, but we like to hear your experiences, and when we post questions, "What's your favorite video game? What was your favorite book? What was" "Do you remember this?" Like, when Julie posted the Gravitron, because I had a different memory and she had a different memory, and other people had different memories. Some went up and some had the floor drop out, so we were both right. But that's what I mean, it's other people going, "Oh, yeah, I remember, and it did this," and, "Oh, here's the experience that I had on it," and that's the best part because we know that when you guys are listening, your brains are going, "Oh, I remember this one part," or, "I remember this, and this happened," and we want you to post that, we want you to share that because we're all in this Gen X together.
If you guys get a chance, maybe tell us a book you were excited about or something you bought that made 0 sense. I'm kind of interested if
Te
your parents were disappointed like mine probably were.
Tell us how many
And,
erasers you had or Lamborghini posters or kitten posters.
it didn't just teach us how to read, it taught us how to want things that we couldn't afford and how to
Yeah.
make bad decisions under pressure and to pretend like that we were okay with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, everybody have a good night or day if you're listening to it during the day. But thanks for coming back. And we'll keep coming back with great nostalgic episodes and see you soon.
See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.